Welcome to the Wealth Transfer with TC. Today I'm going to talk about AMC Theater stock. Now, before I get started, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing information, giving you my thoughts and my opinions on that information. All right, folks, so we've been waiting for the AMC squeeze for some time. We already know that there is a lot of corruption within the stock market. It's one reason why I don't sit here and really invest in the stock market. I don't invest in a lot of stocks. If I do anything, it's all for swing trading. There's only a few stocks that I'm actually holding on to, and one of those is AMC. On this channel, I've shared some of the prophetic, so we just have to wait and see and wait for God to move when He's going to move with this. Now, recently, there was a vote to reverse split AMC stock, and I voted against it because a reverse split has never worked out for really any company. 99% of the time when a reverse split happens, the stock ends up going down. And I can name a whole bunch of stocks right now that went through a reverse split and did nothing but crash back down to where it was at before. So for any reason, which won't happen until maybe after June 29th is the next court date, we won't know for sure. Adam Aaron thinks that we are ignorant and thinks that a reverse split is best for the company. And when he did issue the APE shares at that time, what was AMC, like around $20 or something like that? Something crazy. And now it's like down to like $5. So today what we're going to talk about is setting up sell limit orders for AMC. Now, if you guys remember, not that long ago, I got this article here. Nice investigates technical issue that caused wild market open, where we saw a whole bunch of stocks just like shoot up like a flash spike. And so that's part of the reason why I'm sharing what I'm sharing today. So one of the things is that what Adam Aaron refuses to do is deal with the fails to deliver, which deal with shorting. And you can see this article here, Mulan stock alert. Mulan says that it's investigating fails to deliver on short sales, right? There should be no fails to deliver, period, right? Because then that's just cheating, right? You short a stock, you can't locate a stock, and you still are able to take profit. That doesn't make any sense. So Adam Aaron needs to be doing the same thing. When we take a look at AMC and the fails to deliver, if you look at these ridiculous amounts on a per day basis, 4.1 million fails to deliver on March the 31st alone, right? And you can go through, you can look at this at FinTel, and it goes back to January, and this is ridiculous, right? And it's already bad enough that most of the volume is routed off exchange. Right here, Wall Street apes, 73% of orders have been ran off exchange or dark pooled, robbed by buying pressure. See, when most of the buying pressure is put off exchange, right, that's all it does is allow AMC to continue to go down while the hedge funds and these market makers are trading the stock off exchange. You know, and it's just kind of interesting that they are still fighting AMC. They just don't want to let go for whatever reason. So if you want to see this on a daily basis, you could go to Wall Street Apes on Twitter. But these fails to deliver on a daily basis is absolutely insane, right? So we should be seeing AMC should be in the $20, $30, $40 range right now, especially when you compare it to other companies, other movie theaters, and their stocks are much higher, triple or quadruple the price of AMC. And then Unusual Whales posted, borrow rates for AMC are reported to be at all-time highs. Right now, this is all leading into something, right? So you can see here, according to what he posted, that the amount of money that it's costing these hedge funds to try to borrow these stocks, right, to short, is at an all-time high. So leading up into where Donahue George, if you follow him on YouTube, he keeps up daily on AMC. He says here, there are no shares available to short, right? So he talks about this information quite frequently. Where are they getting all these shares to short if there's none available? If there's only 900 available and they're shorting millions of shares, it's absolutely insane. right? So this guy here, he has his own lawsuit with the SEC and all this stuff. So, but it's just amazing the corruption that is going on within the stock market. I had something pop up in my feed, and it's not what it shows right here. It's an example of what actually took place. This guy here, Travis, he posted that a dark pool print on AMC popped up of 400 shares for $142,900. That equals $357 per share. So, but that was back in 2022, in September. There was something similar that I saw that popped up in my feed. I thought I saved it, and I didn't, but it showed that a company had bought some AMC shares around $250 recently. I don't know how many shares it was, maybe 500 shares or something like that, but they bought a lot of shares at a high price, just like you see here. 400 shares at $357 per share. So, understanding short selling. Shares must be borrowed because you cannot sell shares that do not exist. To close a short position, a trader must buy the shares back on the market, hopefully at the price less than what at which they borrowed the asset, and returns them to the lender or broker. All right, so that's how it's supposed to work. And then when that fails, when they don't locate a share, you have all these fails to deliver. This is the thing. If they are looking for shares to buy, because if they are looking for real shares to buy that are owned by retail, if so, they're going to have to pay for it, because most of the people that are holding on to AMC are not selling their AMC. And I'm not even sure if they're even putting in, sell limit orders. And so whether it's a flash spike or whether a company actually has to purchase real shares at a higher price, then that's where we come in and setting up our sell limit orders for AMC. So what people should be doing right now for the rest of the week, set up new sell limit orders for AMC. You can, depending on how many stocks you have, say for instance, if you have 100. Now this is just an example, right? Say if you had 100 shares. And you want to do this in blocks if you can, either like 10, 20, 30, 40, depending on how many shares. You might have 1,000 shares. Well, you could do this in 100 shares per level, and I'll show you here. So say, for instance, you have 100 shares. You're going to put in an order for 20 shares at $50, 20 shares at $100, right? And so on, right? And you keep going down the list. If you have more than that, you can go all the way down, or you don't have to start off at $50. You can start off at $100 and work your way down, right? So for those of you who are into AMC right now, to go ahead and set up your sell limit orders. Because if they want your shares, they're going to have to pay for them. Say, for instance, somebody was able to benefit from this, right? And they made money off of these shares at $357 per share, right? And in the other example that I couldn't find it. I honestly thought that I saved it, and I didn't. But it was something that happened more recently, and it was around for $250. Imagine that because of the fails to delivers, and they're trying to locate shares, and they end up having to buy the shares back, at least you would have orders in there to purchase them. And then let's say it does happen. Let's say if, for instance, you have an order for 20 shares that kicks off for $100 each. That's $2,000. Well, guess what? You could turn around and go back and go buy some more shares if you wanted to do that. I feel like I'm being led to put this in like this. So it's not just about, I saw this, but the pieces started coming together in my head. So if they're going to route our orders to the dark pool, right, you might as well set them higher than the average, because if there's a company, and maybe sometimes it might be a mistake, or everything's being run by a bot or computers or AI or whatever the case, maybe mistakes will be made. And so hopefully somebody will benefit from this, but because our orders are being routed off exchange, guess what? Go ahead and place those orders. So, but do it, and depending on how many shares you have, you want to do it in intervals of like maybe 10 shares, 20 shares. If you have way more than that, put it in for, if you have thousands of shares. Well, you just saw that block for 400 shares. put those blocks in by the hundreds. So if they can't locate a share and they have to buy the share, and what we're looking for is for them to buy the shares that we have at those prices, right? They're not ridiculously high like 1,000 or 1,500, but they're cheap enough, right? For them that if they have to make these buys, and just think that if this investigation and it fails to deliver and things have to start cleaning, they have to start cleaning up AMC, guess what? Right? They're going to have to start buying these stocks back. And hopefully it'll be the ones that we put in for our sell limit orders, at what I just shared with you. So anyways, folks, I just wanted to share that. I thank you guys for listening. God bless. TC out.